Hey everybody, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Guys, today we're going to be doing something I haven't done in quite a while. Today we're doing a mod review. That's right, we haven't done a mod review on the channel in a long time. So the mod we're going to be covering is called Mythical Agriculture, and it is essentially the successor to Magical Crops, which hasn't been updated. So we've got lots of stuff to cover today, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. As a friendly reminder, if you enjoy this type of content, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, guys, so to start off with the mod review, the first thing that you should probably know about the Mythical Agriculture's mod is that there are two ores in the game, and both of them are very important. The first one is a prosperity ore. You can find this ore in the overworld, the nether, and the end. This is a prosperity shard, otherwise over here. Next up is the Imperium ore. This turns into Imperium Essence when mined. This drops 4 to 5. This drops 4 to 5 as well. You can find these in the overworld, the nether, and the end as well. So these are the two drops of the main ores in the game, and they both have very important uses. So let's go ahead and take a look at those uses. The Imperium, or the prosperity shards, they can make prosperity blocks, which is kind of a decorative block. They also make a crystal. This crystal is used for crafting other things in the mod. Let's go over to the next page. And they also go into making a master crystal. So if you remember in Magical Crops, we had the orbs that use like the orb crafting. This is the same thing, except for it's a little bit lighter. There is an infusion crystal, and there is a master crystal. One has unlimited durability, the other has, limited durability. Another thing that the prosperity shards are used for are to make seeds to start all the different seed crafting. So here is a base crafting seed using seeds and prosperity shards. As you can see, you can also make a prosperity tool rod, and if you want to use this mod to make armor or tools, you will also need it to make ingots. And last but not least, there is a blank charm, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The most important of these, obviously, are the seeds and the ingots, because these seeds and ingots go into the uses of crafting pretty much everything. I mean, like dirt seeds, essence seeds, all of that good stuff that you want to use the mod for to get, different types of materials. So these two are the very, very most important things that you'll want to find. Now, there are some other little things that I want to talk about before we move on to the other seeds, ingots, and things like that. And those are mob chunks. So what we're looking at in an AI right now are the different tiered mob chunks, which are these guys right here. Mob chunks are found or obtained by killing mobs, hostile mobs, for example. Now, if you look in NEI, there are experience ones, there's zombie ones, there are pig ones, etc., etc. So these can be crafted once you have the recipe, or once you have the regular one. So what you would need to do is you would need to kill a mob, and it'll drop the chunk. Once you got the chunk, you can smelt it to make the tiered chunks, which go into crafting, zombie seeds, things like that. So this zombie chunk is going to be crafted into the seed. So there's kind of a step process to it, but I want to go ahead and set up for the next scene, which we're going to talk about all the seeds and everything like that. Okay, guys, so now we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the essence and more in depth about the seeds. So there's 5 different types of essence in this pack, and it starts with the Imperium, and it works its way up. So to make the Imperium Essence, you need 4 of the green essence plus the crystal. And if I were to grab some of this out of here, let's just look at Supremium, for example, as a recipe. I want plus, there we go. So we would need 4 of the Intermedium Essence to make the Supremium, 4 of the Prudentium Essence to make the Intermedium, etc., etc. Just like Magical Crops, 4 of each or 8 of each, depending on the config file, which is very changeable. There's a lot of different changes that you can make in the config file to change this. So once you've got sort of a grasp on the essence and you're starting to collect that, you can then move on to some of the seeds that you may want. There are two different types of seeds in this pack. There are mob seeds and there are material seeds. This is an Interment seed. This is a diamond seed. These are the two I'm using for the example. So let's look at the diamond seed first. So the diamond seed is going to use the diamond as the material, and it's also going to use Supreme Essence, which is the highest essence, and it's also going to use a tier 5 crafting seed. So once again, you know, you're building your way through the essences, making it to where you can get what you need for that. That's all handled here. So once you've got that grasp on the essence, then you can start making your seeds. So the diamond ones are, I should say the material seeds are a little bit easier to use in the fact that that doesn't require you really killing mobs. So once you have made these seeds, you're probably going to want to start working on making mob seeds. So mob essence is, or these are the essences that you'll get, and these are the, you know, the kind of rewards you'll get. 1 diamond for 9 essence. You'll get 4 ender pearls for that, and you can make some other little crafting things like end stone and things. So remember how we talked about those mob chunks? Well, to craft the mob seeds, you'll need the mob chunk of the correct mob. So for this one, for example, is the Interment Chunk. So there's actually 2 different ways you can get this. You can get it by killing an Enderman, or you can craft it by getting a base tier chunk, right? So you would kill a mob, get the chunk, make it, and then you can build these chunks up to, whatever tier that you may need. For example, like you can keep going and make it all the way up to tier 5, etc, etc. Now there's one thing that you need to know about the mob chunks. There's actually a special sword you need. I thought it was there. There was a sword that I had to use before, but I don't see it here now. They might have taken it out of the pack. Okay, it looks like it's actually out of the pack. Or no, it's right here. It's called a Solium Dagger. This is made with Solium ingots, and to make Solium ingots, it doesn't look like, here it is. It's just the Imperium Essence and Soul Dust. Soul Dust is made by Soul Sand and Stone, so you'll need to make that special sword before you can start killing mobs. Now, when you hover over the mob chunks, for example, it's going to say 15% chance drop for the Interment Chunk. That's only when using this sword. If you use a regular sword, you will not have any chance of getting the chunk. So, I highly suggest that you make this sword because it's much easier to get a drop from a mob with this sword than it is to craft the tiers all the way up. So now we've kind of talked about how to get the essence, what the essence makes. Now, on the other side of things, if you want to say go the tools or armor routes, there's a couple different things that we're going to talk about next right now. We're going to see what the essence uses to make machines, armors, and tools. Okay, guys, so now that we've talked about the seeds and how to get everything with seeds, let's talk about the other side of the mod, which is armor, tools, weapons, and a couple different blocks. So once you've got all of your essence collecting and you're making the Imperium Essence and you're doing good, it kind of moves to 2 different things, these cores. Now, you saw me craft these cores in Sky Factory, so you kind of know what they do. One is for tools, one is for weapons. Now, the cores that I'm showing you are Supremium, but these cores actually come, in every single essence type. Now, there is a set of tools and a set of armor for every single essence, which you'll see here. So each set has a set bonus as well. The Imperium is the base, and then once you move to the first one, you get water breathing. Second one's step assist. The third one's no ball damage, and the fourth one's flight. And there's tools as well. So Supreme. Now this one is a Supremium sword, 21 attack damage. These all are like really, really good. They all have unlimited durability. And there's these things that go into these called charms. It's essentially a way to buff these tools and weapons. You know, we've got jump boost, strength, wither effect, all the different things. And so something like the wither effect crafting, it's going to require that blank charm that we talked about before. So you're going to make your Imperium. For example, like absorption requires golden apples. You're going to put this on your armor and it's going to give you that effect. So you'll need to craft any core for any tool or ingot that you want to make. And so for example, I've got a couple different swords down here. I've got a regular sword, which is the one that we have. And then there's the one that has the strength. Now this one has 10 more attack damage on it. Now let's look at the chest plate. This one's a premium chest plate, nothing in the charm slot. This one has strength, and so it's going to give us that strength bonus. Now, those are all crafted by using the Supremium ingots, which we crafted before. You got to make an ingot. And once again, it's using that base crafting tier system that just crafts its way up. So both of these require that, and as you can see, so once again, getting the essence, there's a couple ways you can get this. You can either fight a boss and get the Supremium essence, Wither drops 2, Ender Dragon drops 4, or you can craft it. So once you've made these ingots and you've made the armor and the tools, you're doing really good. Now there is a little bit more to this essence. You can actually use the essence to make a furnace as well. These furnaces are extremely good when you get to the higher tiers. And then there's apples as well, which I'll show you in just a second. We use the apples in fighting before, they're really good. Anyway, so to make the furnace, you're going to need a Supremium block, the essence, and once again, it's using that tiered crafting system all the way down to Inferium, and just a base crafting of a furnace, and it goes from there. Now, I want to kind of show you the different apples in the game. So, as always, it uses the same base crafting tiers with everything. And if you look at the recipe, apples, so this one gives you absorption, absorption and speed, absorption, speed, resistance. That one adds regeneration, and that one adds strength, adds 2 minutes. Those are stackable, so you'll be able to stack on top of them. Now that really kind of covers everything in the mod. We went over, I mean, there's a couple other little things which we're going to talk about right now, but we went over pretty much majority of all the seeds. So that's all the seeds, all the crop, all the essence. We went all over that. Now there's a few random things that there is in the game that we didn't really talk about. There is weatherproof glass, which, you know, obviously, we don't really need to talk about for you to know what it does, but the recipe for that is wither essence and glass. There's also weatherproof blocks, and then there's a seed reprocessor. This thing's actually pretty neat. So say you've grown somewhere, you know, and you're done using all of your seeds, and so what this thing does is it allows you to put a seed inside of it, and it will give you essence to kind of burn off those extra seeds that you have. So if you have, you know, a lot of them, you can just get rid of them rather than clogging up your inventory. The crafting recipe for this is iron ingots, prudent seed, prudent Imperium seed, which is just a level 2 crafting seed. So the base one plus that. And then it's going to require a mystical machine frame, pretty simple. And then that's solarium, it's not solarium, it's solium, which we showed you before for the sword. So there's a couple little things outside of the armor, the tools, and everything, you know. And then there is the magical fertilizer, which just grows it instantly with a random chance. So that is pretty much everything in the Mythical Agriculture's mod. If you enjoyed this mod, maybe you check it out, guys. You can find it on the Curse Launcher. It's very easy to add to your game. You just need to search it in the more content section. And yeah. Anyways, by the way, I will link this mod down below as well. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, obviously make sure you hit that like button as always. And I hope you guys all have a great day. This is iJevin. Peace out, everybody.